time is now 1 p.m. on this Sunday afternoon, and you are taking a live look over Galveston. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are watching Beryl's expected track to the Texas coast, that storm churning in the Gulf. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon. I'm Sherman Chow here with Ron Trevino.
Our team coverage of weather and traffic continues this afternoon. We're joined by Cheetah Craft, Kim Castro, and Jennifer Reyna.
Let's start with meteorologist Kim Castro for the very latest. Kim.
That's right. A brand new update from the National Hurricane Center at 1 o'clock. Beryl still a tropical storm, 65-mile-an-hour winds. It continues to move north-northwest at 10 miles an hour, maintaining the same pressure as of now. However, still forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall on the cone, still over Matagorda and as far east as Houston. So we are all in the path of significant impacts. In fact, hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings all along our coastline. Here's a live look at satellite and radar right now. The outer bands bringing in some heavy downpours already passed through downtown. Right now, the heavy rain is just north of Katy, Waller, Tomball to Magnolia. Who's going to be hit with this rain band next? Hempstead to Brenham. That's what you're going to see throughout the day. The outer bands of Beryl coming in and out with downpours throughout the day. I think until about 10 o'clock. That's when we could start to see the widespread impacts kick in. So from now until then, you could still get those preparations in. So if you haven't filled up your gas tank yet, go ahead and do that. If you haven't secured the outdoor furniture, go ahead and do that. Beyond that, Cheetah, that's when we're not only tracking heavy rain, but substantial hurricane force impacts.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, really talking about Beryl, there are 4 different components. So it's the heavy rain, the potential for flash flooding. There's also the potential for some really strong winds, storm surge, and there's also a tornado threat. So let's first talk about the winds. Right now sustained anywhere from 5 miles per hour in Tomball up to about 18 in Galveston. That's because Beryl is still in the Gulf, so it's still plenty offshore. Now getting into this evening, this is 8:30 tonight. Notice how these winds start to pick up. We're tracking anywhere from 17 to upwards of 33, 34 miles per hour there, Galveston to Bolivar. So you can see how winds are gradually picking up. Getting into 2:30 in the morning when we're expecting landfall. Remember, it's earlier than what I previously thought. So 2:30 in the morning, watch how the eye is pushing towards Matagorda County, right towards Matagorda Bay there. And then as I go from 2:30 in the morning, this is going to continue to lift north, and as it does, the potential of these hurricane force winds, potentially tropical storm force across the area. So again, strong winds across the board. We are tracking rain now, but that's really going to ramp up overnight into tomorrow. More on that. I'll send it over to Jen.
Cheetah, we already have 4 high water spots and the storm isn't even right upon us. So 288 at the South Beltway. I do want you to avoid that area if you're leaving the house or trying to get some last minute errands done right now. Just west of Huffman, 1960 on the northeast side, we've got high water reported. Also North Eldridge right near Cypress, North Houston. You can see those spots listed on my map here with the red icons that you see. We are liable to see more high water spots, especially from the nighttime hours tonight all the way until the afternoon tomorrow. We'll be here to report those to you and to steer you clear. Did want to widen our map here so you can see where the brunt of our heavy rain is coming down from Sealy out through Cypress. If you are in the Magnolia Tomball area, you're feeling the impacts right now. I-45 North Freeway and Conroe seeing a heavy downpour. You can see that we have a heavy truck crash on the North Freeway at Parker. This is the heart of the north side. Don't ignore that we have heavy water already working on this shoulder and in this right lane and also affecting the feeder road. This is one of our prime spots that is very typical for flooding. So we will be monitoring that over the next 12 to 24 hours. You can see outbound traffic headed toward IAH is a little slow going, but it's going to take a while to clear this up. This is southbound Sherman at Parker in the heart of the north side. Folks could take the Hardy Toll Road to avoid any delays right here in the north side. This is what it looks like near IAH, North Beltway at JFK. We are advising that folks check their airlines. We are expecting either some delays or possibly ground stops over the next 12 to 24 hours, just depending on the FAA and what their call is. Over to you.
All right, thanks, Jen. And right now, several Texas counties have issued voluntary evacuation notices. That includes parts of Brazoria County and Matagorda County. Galveston County has also issued a voluntary evacuation notice for people who live in areas not protected by the seawall. And just 2 hours ago, Brazoria County posting on X that the town of Quintana has issued a mandatory evacuation.
Right now, there are questions about what is and what is not open tomorrow. We reached out to the Harris County court system to see if they had changed any plans. And in a statement, the Office of Court Management said they are monitoring the situation and will post an update to their website. If they stay open and you do not feel you can get there safely, you can contact the court your case is assigned to. Here's a look at the colleges that will be closed tomorrow. The list includes Houston Community College, Brazosport College, San Jacinto Community College, University of Houston, Victoria, and Alvin Community College. Local districts include Houston, Tomball, Lamar, Galveston, Alief, and more. You can find a full list of school closures on our website, KHOU.com.
And take a look at this. Just an hour ago, Freeport Police announced the closure of Bryant Beach. You can see in that picture how the tides are already washing up to the dunes this afternoon.
And right now, Brazoria County has closed off beach entrances along Follett's Island. Officials are also tracking high tides along the coast.
And the Houston Zoo closed an hour ago at noon, and it'll be closed through at least tomorrow. All ticket holders can reschedule their visit by emailing group reservations at houstonzoo.org. Officials, of course, monitoring weather conditions, and they'll reevaluate if they can reopen on Tuesday.
To find out more information on school closures, voluntary evacuations, and all things Beryl, text the word Beryl to 713-526-1111, and we'll send you a link straight to your phone.
Plus, the storm may delay trash pickup tomorrow. This is a tweet from Texas City. Officials there will make a decision on Monday's pickup by tonight around 6 p.m. Double check to be sure your area is still on schedule before you put out your trash cans. Because remember, those cans can get tossed around in strong winds. And as everyone continues to make preparations ahead of Beryl's landfall, this afternoon there'll be at least 2 press conferences. These, one by Fort Bend County officials and Judge K.P. George, the other by the City of Galveston Emergency Management, plus the Galveston City Mayor, Craig Brown. Both of those press conferences will be at 3 p.m. Stay with us online and on air as we cover those events.
As Beryl continues to move closer to Texas, remember, if you or a loved one is dependent on power for life-sustaining medical equipment, make a backup plan right now. Never use generators inside your home or inside a closed space. Stay away from rising water, which can hide submerged outlets or electrical cords. And this is extremely important. Stay away from downed power lines. Experts say you need to remain at least 30 feet away and call 311 to report it, and only call 911 in case of an emergency. The Trinity River Authority says repairs to the Lake Livingston Dam will be done by tomorrow. The spillway was damaged in recent storms. This video from Friday shows crews on the scene working on repairs. Officials are saying the dam will be able to handle larger amounts of water by tomorrow without impacting its integrity.
Here now, a live look at Hobby Airport as the holiday weekend wraps up. A little patch of blue there in the left-hand corner. Today expected to be another record-setting travel day with thousands expected to fly through the Houston airports, including both of our kids.
Yes, we'll be monitoring flight updates throughout the morning and throughout the afternoon to keep you updated on the air and online. So far, FlightAware's misery map shows about 200 delays at Bush and nearly 80 delays at Hobby, and we only expect those numbers to go up as the day goes on. Make sure you're checking with your airline before you head to the airport.
Yeah, Cheetah, your family flying in today.
My family is flying in. You know what? Their flight took off earlier, but yeah, they're expected to land in about 20 minutes. I do have a couple of friends that were supposed to fly out tomorrow, and you know what? Their flights were already canceled. They were supposed to fly out at noon, so that's interesting. Okay, so right now, the Tropical Storm Beryl still sitting in the Gulf. Notice it's really starting to get its act together. You're starting to see that eye become a little bit more defined. We are expecting this to intensify to a Category 1 hurricane today. Now, already the outer bands of Tropical Storm Beryl impacting us right now. We've had a good chunk of rain move across the area. These thunderstorms draped across some of our northwest counties right now. Montgomery, and then a zoom into you. So from Conroe, Woodlock, the Woodlands, drenched along 45 northbound. Take you westbound from Sealy into Katy. Notice westbound, you are getting some very heavy rain. This is only the beginning, but this is the thing, because the grounds are saturated now. Now what we're going to see overnight, once Beryl starts to push onshore, notice the timestamp on our future track. It is already starting to move inland around 3 a.m. So we could see landfall as early as 2:30 in the morning overnight into Monday morning. Watch how Beryl just completely races north. So we are not expecting this to stall out. This is not expected to be a slow mover, but the impacts could be severe overnight and through about midday tomorrow. We could be looking at rainfall rates per hour around 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. I mean, that is torrential rain when it's coming down over your area. We could be looking at tropical storm force to even hurricane force winds. Notice how it really stayed together as it moved inland. Now, this is 11 a.m. tomorrow. And what I've noticed is over the past 24 hours, this is moving faster and faster. So 11, a big chunk of the energy is already working for our northern counties. By early afternoon tomorrow, it's almost out of here. And I think tomorrow evening, that's about it. Tuesday, we get back to our typical summer-like pattern. But what we have to watch, though, again, are those winds, the rain. Storm surge is still expected up to about 4 feet in Galveston, more around 6 feet towards Matagorda Bay, where landfall is expected. And that's when these winds come into play. You've got soaking rain, torrential rain, saturated grounds. Power outages are going to be a concern. Not only will we be dealing with these really strong winds, but there's also going to be a tornado threat. There are many components and layers with Beryl. Even though if you're looking at the timeline, you're like, okay, it moves quickly across the area. So now I want to bring in meteorologist Kim Castro. Yes. And after it makes landfall, we've been talking about all the different components. Break those down for us, Kim.
Yeah, Cheetah, just looking at the wind field that you're tracking right there, the hurricane force wind threat is one of the biggest that we're going to be tracking with Beryl, along with, of course, the push of the storm surge, the coastal threat for flooding, and even inland threat for flooding with those heavy bands. Even though it's a fast mover, torrential downpours, rainfall rates of 2-3 inches per hour would cause us to have a high risk for flash flooding, and then the enhanced potential for tornadoes. So really everything is on the table here. Current tropical alerts, hurricane warning along the coastline. This has been extended. So now into El Campo, Bay City, Surfside, Angleton, and everybody at least under a tropical storm warning. Why? Because Beryl is forecast to maintain hurricane strength even after landfall, all up into Walker County. So all of Southeast Texas seeing impacts there. Storm surge warning along the coast. The surge in Galveston could be between 3 to 5 feet. And that means low-lying businesses, low-lying homes are expecting flooding. Now, the risks with a hurricane are as follows: wind threats, tornado threats, surge threat, flooding. If you're on the right side of the system, which we're forecasted to be on, the threats are heightened. So I want you to be really alert and aware that the potential to see tropical storm or hurricane force winds is fairly high for Harris County, especially western Harris County. Look at that probability. Those odds are likely. So Cheetah was showing us this. What kind of gust are we expecting as we head into tonight? 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts along the coastline. That starts to surge northward as we watch landfall from Beryl. So there's the eye forecast with our high-res models, 9:30, and look at Sugar Land, 74-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's hurricane force strength. That continues its track northward. Huntsville gusts at around 70 miles an hour. Not to mention, some of these winds could be from a tornadic storm. That's what we expect on the dirty side of a hurricane. So watch for that beginning late tonight into our Monday as we're tracking the rain bands from Beryl making their way towards southeast Texas. 2 weather impact alert days today and tomorrow. Jen, I'm really watching the late night forecast into about 1 to 2 o'clock Monday afternoon. And then after that, we'll have to watch the cleanup efforts.
Yeah, free and clear as far as the storm, but then the damage is going to be done. You'll want to charge your chargers for phones, technology, and for your vehicles so that once we do get up and running, you can at least head to your destination. But in the meantime, for tonight and into the next several hours into Monday, you do want to stay put. We already have some high water spots. This is current. Happening right now. 288 at the South Beltway, 1960 up by Huffman, North Eldridge right near Cypress, North Houston. You can see those locations highlighted on my traffic map. You can also see the rain that's really coming down. So we are going to just see more and more of those high water spots pop up on our Houston Transtar website, and we'll keep you posted over the next 24 hours. Right now, I did want to take you live outside to our heavy truck crash on the North Freeway. This is southbound at Parker, but take note that we already have high water on the right shoulder, also so in the right lane. Also along that feeder road, this is a typical spot, and we will have a full list of the typical spots that usually encounter high water on our website at KHOU.com. In the meantime, for your drive right now, it's slippery in a lot of locations. I know a lot of you are trying to get those last minute errands done. Katy Freeway at 99, this underpass is another location that concerns me. Just depends on how much water is dumped and in the what amount of time and how the drainage goes. 290 at Skinner, we are looking at some packed conditions, slow going for those of you trying to make your way out right now. And then you need to check for delays at your airport because we will be seeing those pop up as well, and maybe even some ground stops. But right now, Sherman, it looks like people can get to the airport. We're looking at JFK. Conditions on the roadways look okay in that area. We just have an eastbound left lane that's shut down around Imperial Valley with ongoing road work. That lane will be shut down until further notice. Has nothing to do with storm coverage, but it is something that will impact drivers.
All right, J. Ray, keeping us advised on the roadways. Thank you. Get the latest on Tropical Storm Beryl. Download the KHOU 11 app. Just point your phone's camera at that QR code on the screen. All free to download in the Apple and Google Play stores.
All right, we're out of time. We'll be back in an hour with the latest on Beryl online.